morning, everyone. This is Spooky Storytime number 3, and we're going to title this one The Visit. As you can see, I'm in a new setting. Whenever you see this, I will be telling stories, whether spooky or not. I'm going to call this my story nook. But before I continue, I want to preface this story by giving you a few facts about myself. These facts will help you gain a clearer understanding of who I am and help you gain some trust in the words that I speak. Fact number 1, I have a trained eye for anatomy and physical reality. My entire career as a massage therapist is rooted in the physical, tangible reality. For the past 14, 15 years, I have studied anatomy and physiology and how your body responds to stimuli. I don't easily hallucinate or misinterpret physical reality. And I guess you could say that I'm an expert when it comes to the physical realm. All right, fact number 2. I value discipline and logic, academic discipline and logic. I'm taking some coursework in communications and literature, and also right now currently studying ASL. So I've been a student for like years, is on top of being a business owner. So there's that. I say that to say that I'm a critical thinker. I like to call myself a healthy skeptic and a clear communicator. With that being said, I think it's important to mention that I am known, at least in my real life, for my radical and transparent communication style. So I guess you could say that I have a track record for telling it like it is, and I don't make things up for clout or attention. It's just not who I am. I don't see the value or the purpose in that whatsoever. So if I am saying something that is a bit out there that could potentially ruin or put a little ding on my reputation, then it's obvious that I believe it. Okay, I'm not going to just tell you things just for the sake of telling you and creating a attention-seeking situation. I just don't do it. And the last fact is I am a mother. I have a 15-year-old daughter, and I have also run a business for the majority of my adulthood. So I've started a business when I was about 22-ish, 23. So I have been out in the world. I have I deal with people all the time, and different personalities, different situations. So I don't rattle easily at all. I'm not easily offended. I am also, I work very, 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 very well under pressure. And I do think that all of this information is important before I tell you this next story. Okay, now that you know all of that, let us begin. So this story takes place in 2020. And as you know, I always give ages. So I was 30 years old at the time. And I was running both my business and working part-time at this tech company's gym as a massage therapist. Through this gym, I met this woman named Allison. And after everything sort of came to a halt because of the pandemic, Allison asked me to come in and take care of her because she was getting knee surgery, and I agreed. So this day in particular, she gives me a list of items that she wanted me to purchase from Trader Joe's. At Trader Joe's, I find all but one item, and it was, it was a vanilla ice cream of some sort. And so I head back to her place. She's going through her groceries, and she says, "Kayla, where's my vanilla ice cream?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't in stock. It wasn't in the store. I asked the employees, and they said they didn't have any left." And she became super irate. And at this point, I'm annoyed as well, because it's been like a week of this bullshit. It's been a week of her treating me like a freaking slave, and the money at that time just wasn't worth it. I didn't have a job. I sort of put my massage stuff on pause because most of my clients are elderly people. So, at some point you have to choose your peace over money, and that's what I decided to do, at least at that moment. I knew that would be my last night with her. So it's now 10 p.m. and Allison tells me that she is heading to bed. So that's my cue to leave. So I'm gathering all of my things. Allison heads to bed, puts on her sleep apnea machine, and starts to snooze away. So as I'm gathering my things, I begin to feel so incredibly ill. And I know what you're thinking. No, it was not COVID. I felt more of like a stomach ache, nausea, and a fogginess, like this very lightheaded, foggy feeling in my skull. And I ran to the bathroom. So now I'm in this bathroom, I'm leaning over the toilet, I'm trying my hardest not to wake Allison up, dry heaving, very uncomfortable situation. And I sit down on the floor and up against the wall, just like this. And I'm just like, oh, this sucks so bad, this sucks so bad. When all of a sudden, these two blue beings appeared. Now, I couldn't see past their shins, so I could only see from their shins up to their head. And I'll give you a description of what they look like before I continue with anything else. There were two of them. One was very clearly female, and the other one was very clearly male. The one closest to me was a female, so she was standing here. I would say if I was leaning up against the wall this way, she was right here. And he was to her right, standing like behind her, off to her right, almost like in a, I don't know, it's almost as if he was there to like more as protection or just kind of like as her, I don't know. So they were blue in color. She had on a beautiful gown, a beautiful violet colored gown. It had different color, there were different color purples on it. And he had on like a cloak or something, not a suit. I can't describe exactly what it is. I don't know if I have the words for it, but he had on something that was more on the masculine side. She had on this beautiful crown thing that sort of wrapped here and then it went around her head this way. They didn't have hair, at least not from what I could tell. Like they didn't have hair like this, right? If they did have hair, it was probably slicked back, but I couldn't see any hair. He had more of a square-ish head. She had a beautiful, elongated, like very feminine, oval-shaped head. Very pretty. They were not scary. I probably should say that. Not intimidating in the least bit. As a matter of fact, I remember sitting there and I'm looking directly at them as she's speaking to me. It was all telepathic. And I just started laughing. I was giggling because I'm like, there's no way this is fucking real. Oh my God, my fucking light went out. All right, sorry about that. So I'm sitting there thinking, there's no way this is real. I'm looking at her, I'm looking at him, I'm looking at her, and I am giggling. Like, there's no way. There's no way. Even still thinking back to it now, guys, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, so it looked as if they had, sounds weird. It looked as if they stepped into this reality. There was no walking through a door, knocking, hey, being like, hey, Kayla, I know you're not feeling well, but can we come in really quick? There was none of that. It was more as if they had stepped into this reality. So I want to give you guys a short theory of mine. And basically it's that I do not believe that they are physical in the way that we are physical. I think that, and if they are, there is an aspect of them that can transcend realities. And after this experience, I think this experience actually proves my theory. Rather than them coming from a specific planet, I think it's more of a realm. I don't think it's a planet, which is probably why it's been hard for us to find physical proof that they exist. And I want to say, I am so sorry if you are offended by any of this. I understand that there are a lot of religious people that don't believe in this, and if they do, they think that it's all demonic. But it would be remiss of me to not acknowledge the fact that we do not understand everything. And I understand that fear usually leads people to denial. So, yeah. Anyway, back to the story. So, I'm leaning there, feeling unwell still, giggling my little heart away at the fact that there's these two little people in front of me. She begins to speak to me, and she is speaking telepathically. Lord have mercy, this sounds so crazy. Guys, I don't have a mental illness. I suffer from depression, but it's situational depression. I suffer from anxiety, but that's just from my upbringing. But I don't have any mental illnesses, so please don't use that as an excuse to say, I'm out of my fucking mind. I'm not. So we're having this exchange telepathically. And I'm giggling and I'm listening to her and I'm like, how the hell are you doing that? I'm like, how are you doing that? Needless to say, she did not answer my question. As far as what she said, it's not something I've ever shared word for word. Even when telling the story to people that I've known, I do not say exactly what it is that she said because I feel like it's personal, but I will give you a gist, okay? And I also think that the message that I received, I feel like some of it may feel like common sense to a lot of you, but at the time, it wasn't for me. At the time, I was still trying to figure out who I was. I was still in the midst of being a people pleaser, as you can tell by this, the beginning of this story with Allison. So although I understand that the message was directly for me, I still think it's important to let everyone else know. Maybe this will resonate with some of you. I don't know. She told me off. That's also another funny aspect of the story, is that she told me off. These two, or specifically her, she did not play. She was very much like, get your head back into the game. Stop dilly-dallying. This is not what she said word for word. This is just, I'm giving you just the gist of what it was. Basically, get your fucking head out of your ass. Stop dilly-dallying. You have shit to do. Essentially, stop compromising, people-pleasing. I have a task to get done, and I needed to move forward. And there was no more participating in ancillary bullshit jobs, relationships, friendships, because it was all putting a pause on what the bigger picture was. I'm just giving you the gist of what was said. This is just a paraphrase. This is not exactly what she said to me. I don't think I'll ever be ready to share that. So after that exchange, nothing else happened. They sort of just went away, and I got up and left. Went home, slept the rest of the night, woke up and felt just fine. But I've been thinking about that ever since. And whenever I make a decision now, and whenever I find myself in a position where I'm feeling as if I'm stuck or as if I'm not able to push forward, I think about that. And I immediately just remove myself because it's just a waste of time, right? I don't want to waste my time doing things that are not serving me, and I don't think you should either. As for Allison, she sent me a text later that evening, the following evening, telling me off about her stupid vanilla ice cream that I couldn't find at Trader Joe's. Basically telling me that she had paid me for a specific service that she did not receive, which was absolute bullshit. I put my heart into everything that I do. I just couldn't find her fucking vanilla ice cream. It was sending me into a panic. So I sent her a text message cursing her out, telling her to fuck off, and that I was no longer returning. And that was my last night or whatever. I don't know where Allison is today, but I will say, fuck you, Allison. But anyway, if you have any questions about this encounter, or if you have any stories of your own, I would absolutely love to read it or hear it. If you want me to tell your own stories, DM me. I will probably end up adding that to the list of things that I do here. I know that my parents have some pretty interesting stories, especially from Cape Verde, and I will continue telling my own, both messy and spooky. I'll see you then. Peace.